everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk to you about Rose de Taif by Perris Monte Carlo, both the eau de parfum right here and then the extrait, which is right there. So this perfume line is based on the Taif rose. I've never smelled the essential oil or any naturals for that rose, but that is what it's based on. And Taif, apparently, this is all based off what the website says. Taif is a city in the southwestern area of Saudi Arabia. It's in the mountains, high up, it's very dry, and it's kind of above the Red Sea. And they have a variety of damask rose that they say was brought over by the Ottomans a long time ago. And they've cultivated it over the years, and now it's its own variety of damask rose. It's very special to them in this region, and that is the rose that this is based on. The notes for the eau de parfum consist of lemon, nutmeg, and geranium. And in the heart, there is Rose of Taif essence, and then in the base, there's Rose de Messina Absolute and Rose Musk. Then in the eau de parfum, oh, by the way, the eau de parfum came out in 2013. The extrait, it doesn't list the notes for the extrait on its page, but it does say, "We have made our eulogy to Rose de Taif richer in essential oil of Taif rose and damask rose absolute. The resulting fragrance eschews an initial green, citrusy experience in favor of a soft, enveloping opening notes. Like walking in a rose garden from the first light of dawn until nightfall." And the extrait came out in 2015, so 2 years later. Both composed by Luca Maffei. My takeaway is that the difference is a higher concentration of naturals are in the extrait, and they also are going for a more kind of rounded and softer profile, as opposed to maybe a fresher and more bracing experience with the eau de parfum. What I can tell you with these two fragrances is that they dry down to be very similar, and I would say like 95% similar. And it's just this typical smell that you would get from a rose essential oil. It is kind of papery, a little bit spicy, floral, kind of like that type of rose. It's not very fruity to me. What else? It's not very green. I know a lot of people say that the eau de parfum smells there's a greenness to it. I don't really know what they're talking about, because I would attribute the green that you get from rose to the phenylethyl alcohol that is naturally occurring in rose. That gives you that stemmy, flower shop, refrigerator kind of aroma, and I don't get any of that with either of these perfumes. It's just sort of that deep, rich red, papery sort of rose. But there's a slight difference between these two, and that is in the extrait. The opening of the extrait, it does have this, it feels brighter, and there's this fruitiness in it in comparison to the eau de parfum. There's this wine-like fruitiness that is kind of like tart and tannic, like the way if you take a drink of tea, it has that like in the back of your throat sort of puckering sensation, but in a fruity way. So that's what I find with the extrait. It feels, maybe that's the rounded quality that they seem to be going for with the extrait. Maybe that's what the added essential oils do to it, is it gives it more of that fruitiness in this version. And I kind of prefer that to the eau de parfum, because that one, it's just top to bottom. Even in the opening, it does feel very, I don't want to say very, but it does have that papery rose dryness to it. As far as spices go, I think I read you the note breakdown for the eau de parfum. It lists nutmeg. I don't really get nutmeg. And roses do have a natural spiciness to them, kind of like cloves. I don't get that so much. I can get a feeling of spicy, but there doesn't seem to be any spiciness that I can pick out, like any like kitchen spice. I don't get clove, like full-blown clove in this perfume. So it really does come off like a naturalistic rose. It's not so much a perfumey rose. It feels a lot more like a natural, like the prompt that was given to Luca Maffei when he was making these perfumes was just to capture the smell of the Taif rose essential oil. And I think he did do that. I will say though that for me, this line doesn't give me what I would like in an ideal rose perfume, which is, I love the opening that you get with rose essential oil. It's very zingy, and I find it to be just so joyful and pleasant to have that smell in your nose, and it's kind of spa-like to me, very invigorating, and I don't get this kind of smell in either of these perfumes. It's more so when the rose essential oil, it dries down. That is the kind of rose smell that you get in these perfumes. So that is something that you might need to know, because you might be like me and be searching for the kind of rose that I'm searching for, and be disappointed if you think that this would give you that, because it doesn't. And then with the geranium, some people on Fragrantica get more geranium in the in this line, in particular the eau de parfum. I'm very familiar with geranium, and I personally get more rose than I do geranium in both of them. More so, the extrait, I think, is more of a clear rose than the eau de parfum. And then when it comes to how they wear, this is surprising. I find that the eau de parfum is a stronger wear than the extrait. I find that the eau de parfum, it lasts on me 5, 6, maybe even more hours, which to me is pretty decent. That's a good wear. And I do feel like it is projecting as well. The extrait, I've seen people in Fragrantica, I've seen comments saying that you can only do like 1 or 2 sprays of the extrait. It's that strong, and it's impossible to remove. I find it to be very, very, very moderate to weak. I wouldn't say it's weak, but it's like not moderate to strong. I'd say it's more so moderate to subtle. And I've sprayed over 5 or so sprays of the extrait, and I get, nothing stronger than the eau de parfum. If anything, it kind of disappears faster. Maybe I'm going anosmic to it, but all I can say is I find the eau de parfum stronger. And that might be helpful for you if you're making the decision of which one to get, because the eau de parfum, it can be had at certain times of year for around $100 for the 3.4 ounce bottle, which is what you see here. And the extrait, you can get these travel sizes for, I think, it comes in a set of 2 for, I believe, under $130, which is pretty good. The full bottle, though, is very expensive. And then when you also factor in how they do dry down to be very same, I would say somebody wouldn't really know the difference, I don't think. If they were not into perfume especially, I don't think that they would know the difference or be able to pinpoint anything that is standing out one compared to the other. When you factor that in, the eau de parfum might be the way to go. But like I said earlier, it lacks that fruity quality that the extrait has, which I feel makes it a little bit more pleasant to wear. Something else I can tell you is that I find that vetiver goes very, very well with rose. And I have layered the eau de parfum with molecule 03, which is based on vetiveryl acetate. And the vetiver actually gives me more of that rose essential oil quality. The opening of the rose essential oil that I'm trying to find, it gives some of that to this perfume, which is amazing. And I love layering the two. I think they work fantastically together. So that's a little tip if you are similar to me, or I don't know, it just smells great. Is there anything else I can mention to you? I guess some perfumes I can compare it to. Tea Rose by Perfumer's Workshop. That one is a lot drier and kind of oily to me in comparison to these perfumes, and I would find the Rose de Taif line more pleasant to wear. If you do like Tea Rose though, either of these would be a very easy and safe blind buy. Ça Majesté La Rose by Serge Lutens, I've seen comparisons to that perfume. They are very similar, but that one is more spicy and a little bit, it has that honey note in it, so it's a little bit sweeter. Nothing gourmand though, but it is a little bit sweeter. Then one other perfume. Chloe EDP is a rose perfume that a lot of people know, but that one is more of a pink kind of rose, and the peony stands out in that one. That one also smells more contemporary and more perfumey, whereas this one is more maybe like timeless, more natural in comparison. And the rose in this perfume is, like I said, very like a deep red, like a cardinal rose verging on wine colored rose. I think that's everything to say about this perfume. I tried to make a very short video. I already filmed this video, but I went up to like 20 minutes, so I'm trying to get it down to as short as I can. Yeah, so if you have any questions for me, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.